I'm Shotzi Blackheart, the ballsy badass, and you are watching the Untitled Manny and Marcus show. Remember to like the video and subscribe.
Hey. Oh,
check out the Marcus and Manny show.
I hate you both right now. You guys are ridiculous.
Yes.
Was that preempt to yes?
Yes. It's because it's over the Billy Kay's Edge ballot. It makes me say yes every single time. Because God damn it, she deserves better. And every time I see that image, it makes me more and more, it infuriates more. As much as the thumbnail of Leon Ruff holding both North American titles in the air, it makes me feel good just inside as a human being in this fucked up year we've been in. This is our champion of North America. This makes me proud. And then when I see Lacey Evans and Peyton Royce together, it makes me ill. It reminds me that I'm in 2020. Manny, I know I skipped the intro, but I'm going to go old school and say I'm Marcus the grand finale, ho-ho or something, and I'm joined by
Lord Manny. Hey.
Ho-ho. Let's jump into the Marcus and Manny show. Now you can go back to hosting. I'm sorry.
Oh wow, that was a nice intro.
It worked. Oh, intro rhymes too.
So, how are you doing today, Marcus?
I'm good. I just want to rhyme things with intro right now, like cilantro, and I have no reason to say that.
Cilantro.
Yeah.
Why would anyone need to rhyme cilantro?
So, hey, ho, welcome to the Marcus and Manny show. You went, hey, that was a nice intro. And I was like, yeah, it's like an ingredient like cilantro. Bang, there it is. I rhymed cilantro. I have no reason to do that.
Maybe we wash it down with some Cointreau.
Oh! That was like 4 rhyming words, like quattro. Huh? Fenix?
Wow.
I think that's the end of it. That's the end of it. As you see, if I had confetti in the air, I'd throw it in there. Because I swear to God, my Money in the Bank challenge was if Leon Ruff won a championship. I swear to God, if I can remember correctly, because I never thought it happened, I totally forgot it. But I think I should have the Money in the Bank briefcase. I'm just saying.
So you want to willingly just take the title from the man that has left the Sharper universe for the time being?
He lasted the title.
Take the title and challenge Eric at Survivor Series.
Wow, what a matchup. Manny, it speaks for itself. Brand versus Brand, Untitled Manny and Marcus show versus the 22 view show of gold. I mean, it all makes sense. Best of the best. Best of the best.
Well, Eric, as they would call him, bingo, Eric's on a double duck 22.
Brother, bingo. Honestly, I swear, if we did a show and it was just about us playing bingo, I would fucking die laughing for no reason.
Marcus, we've got lots of time to fill when Eric takes his break on that Saturday. We can play bingo if you really wanted to.
We can play bingo. I get a spindle. We get a spindle. We just put wrestler pictures in there. Oh, you got Kane. You got Kane. Be Kane. All right, let's jump into the show.
Let's get into the show.
A show that may not have happened. That I promise that may not happen. Might be the greatest show we've ever done. I'm just saying.
Yeah, Marcus, let me know. Let's do this show at like 2 PM,
which is like 4 AM our time or something. Some shit.
And I was just like, I wasn't planning on preparing for a show. I was like, okay, let's do one. So let's kick off with AEW. AEW kicks off with Team Taz making it towards the ring. I can't remember what they were calling it, people out for, but it would seem like they called out Cody, and then they called out Darby Allin, who's sitting in the stands. Now, I ask you this question, Marcus.
Yes.
Would you prefer if she just sat in the stands the same way Darby Allin did, which was away from everyone, to look like he was actually scouting, even though he wasn't scouting, but looked like he was scouting his next opponent?
Yeah, if he's scouting up there, he really has a bad view. I mean, he had no binoculars. I'm sure he doesn't have 20/20 vision. I swear there's video of Darby Allin with glasses. But I'm just saying, he was looking at a blur up there. But I would prefer she to sit up in some type of penthouse or own isolated area where she's just not hanging out with the guns. Because that's the low point of wrestling. I feel like that's the depth sentence of wrestling. Like, you should not have to sit there, especially as being a champion. I will not expect my new North American champion, Leon Ruff, to be sitting there. Never.
So we've got Grunge Smurf in the chat. He says, "Sup, gents? Sup, Grunge Smurf? Hope we haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're doing well." So this leads to the opening match, which is Brian Cage versus Matt Sydal, which I thought was a all right match. It just turned into a big man beating up a little man squash match. Just another win for Brian Cage.
Yeah, as a squash match goes, I wish it was squashier, if that's a word. I don't think it's a word, but I wish it was squashier. I wish it was squishier. I need Brian Cage to kill a man in the ring. I need him to go full Brody Lee and just kill a man in the ring and just be done with it. Yes, it was Matt Sydal. It was a nice way to start a show. He is a name, formerly known as Evan Bourne. He's a good athlete, but I want Brian Cage to be the machine. I want him to kill somebody. Until then, he is Ricky Starks number 2 and Taz is number 3.
So Coach did. I think this is probably the best thing of that happened this night. I don't remember this lady's name, so I hope you remember.
Miss Cargill. Miss Cargill.
So Cody was interrupted by Miss Cargill, telling Cody there's nothing giant about him, to which elicited the crowd to go,
oh, little dick reference.
While the camera, I feel like the camera actually neared it towards his groinal area.
It did. I feel like they did a shout out to be like, I can't see anything under those white pants. He was dressed as the Colonel. He was dressed as the Colonel on Kentucky Fried Chicken tonight. And I don't know why he's doing that.
Slavery.
Yeah. It's not funny. Slavery's not funny.
Slavery's not funny, but the Colonel was a slave master. I'm just saying. Yeah.
That's why he got his recipe. That's why he got 20 herbs and spices. Let me tell you what those herbs and spices were. Slaves.
That's horrible, Mark.
I know. That's why it's a secret. It's a shame.
And then
back in the day, the KFC used to gloat all about how their ingredients. Like, yeah, I got slaves doing it. Then when that became taboo, secret recipe of 30 herbs and spices. Just saying. Fuck you, Colonel.
So she keeps referring to him a giant, and Cody apparently saying he was a giant killer. And the giant she keeps referring to is the giant called Shaq.
Yeah, I couldn't think of a giant. I was like, what giant is it in WWE? There's have all the biggest dudes. Are they bringing in the Khali? That's the only person I can think of. Like, who could they bring in that's a giant? And then when she said Shaq, I went, oh man, this TNT crossover. All I need is Barkley and Ernie and Kenny to come out with him.
And then the moment this happened, it awoken the hood in Brandi, who tries to scold this woman. However, I am not believing for a second Brandi can take this woman.
No. Brandi would have got her ass beat. What Brandi don't understand, Brandi, look, let me break this down to you. Today, I was reminded that Brandi was black. That's what happened today. When she came out there and she was talking to Miss Cargill like that, I had to be reminded that Brandi was black. And I was like, well, you go ahead, Brandi. You got your man. Even though we both agree that she should have been out there right away. Like any black woman come out right away. As soon as her man is confronted by another black woman, not even confronted, just talking to another black woman. She would have been out there. It's like, I'm Brandi. She'd have
been out there removing earrings, ready, shoes kicked off, ready to fight.
Vaseline, just believing, pointing the ring out. Bitch. Like right away. It's instinctual.
Which is why this is why it's what I said to you during our meeting, that I fully believe that this was the movie Reverse White Chicks, where Brandi Rhodes was being played by a white woman and her interpretation of how black women act. Because this is what I got when I saw Brandi Rhodes act like that. It was like an over generalized version of a black woman from the hood.
Yes. She was very stereotypical, but I enjoyed it. And I know who enjoyed it more than anybody. That's Cody Rhodes. He was in that ring in his Colonel outfit going like, that's what I bought. That's what I wanted. That's what I married. That's what I've always wanted. I wanted a ratchet ass black chick. And I finally got it out of you. And I know he went to the back, baby, you gonna get it. You gonna get that EV penis tonight.
EV penis. Wow, we are awful today.
Talk about slavery, dick jokes, questioning Brandi's race like I'm Booker T or something. We went through all of it.
So just get some of the comments out here. Pantheon Don, who has recently changed his name. Cage has to stop fighting like a cruiserweight that's got quantum leap in a heavyweight body. Grunsmith responded with, I want a cruiserweight to move like a super heavyweight. Isn't that a bit like Gulak?
That's pretty much Gulak, right?
Yeah,
like,
I feel like
he wrestles the slow technical style or middleweight back in the day. Like, you know, his style is very technical. Like he's a Bret Hart in a Daniel Bryan body.
So the next match, I'm not sure why it escalated to this so quickly. The bunkhouse match. But before I get to the bunkhouse match, you know how they often talk about Japanese horror films and then the American adaptation is never that good. Like for instance, the Japanese Ring in comparison to the American version of that, The Ring.
Yeah, but Eric swears for the American Ring.
However,
Eric doesn't watch Japanese movies because he hates subtitles.
See, I get this with I see the New Japan Bullet Club Bunny versus Ali the Bunny. The Bullet Club Bunny is way more interesting, attractive than the Butcher, Blade, and the Bunny.
Well, the bunnies are pimped in New Japan, so and they're more sexualized. Like they go for it. The bunny is trying to be respectable, and you know there's no place for that in world of wrestling. Just say. But how did it escalate to a bunkhouse match? How did we get here?
Yeah, I didn't understand how it got to that point so quickly.
I didn't understand. Why am I on the farm now? Like I don't like the gimmicks don't even connect. Like a butcher on a farm, I understand, but I didn't understand why Dustin and QT and I didn't understand all that. Oh well.
So before we continue, Grunsmith goes wins the last show before Eric takes a hiatus. That's something Eric will probably have to answer because we 100% don't know. And like Eric said, he may be appearing on the Manny and Marcus show a few times during that hiatus. Anyway,
I think it's the last Saturday of November, which is the one after Thanksgiving.
And then he said, Marcus is looking smaller. Are you on keto? No, I will answer that question for him. As the story goes, Marcus was homeless in his car for the last several weeks, and he wasn't eating.
That's what's really been going on. I was finally able to save enough money up to get this lovely shithole apartment back until I fuck up again. No, I don't look slip. The reason I look slimmer is because I think I'm further back from the camera, and I'm like when I was in the car, I'm pretty much up like this. I don't know.
I think it's because you trimmed your beard recently.
Oh, maybe that too. Yeah. That could be also the case. But it's definitely I just been eating fast food. Like I was living out of a hotel. What do you think? I couldn't cook. So it's only fast food and it was a lot of garbage. Occasionally I eat Brussels sprouts, but mostly garbage.
Brussels sprouts are awful.
Brussels sprouts are the best, man. You just had them wrong. You can't if anybody says Brussels sprouts are bad, they've been eating them wrong their entire life. It is the best vegetable.
My elite vegetable is parsnips.
Parsnips?
Yeah, elite. and if you've just joined this live stream, this is All Elite Vegetables, where we review vegetables and place them in matches against other vegetables.
And when you throw up the too sweet side, we go not so sweet. Very healthy. Very healthy.
How did you find this match?
I thought it was bloody, gory, very physical, but my main thing is going like, but why? Like there was stuff in there that to me didn't make sense. Like before they went to the commercial break, Dustin's being handcuffed. I still don't know how he got off them handcuffs.
So they tried to tell the story that he fell off the apron and then his weight managed to break the handcuff from the top rope.
What kind of MacGyver Saturday morning cartoon shit is that? I feel like he would have broken his wrist.
Emo, the rules for Survivor Series Pick'em is we've postponed it because we haven't had the time to go to do that. We've had other situations going on in the background, and we're going to put it on hold. We'll probably do it for the Royal Rumble or something closer to that.
We'll just do some Royal Rumble thing, and maybe I don't know. It fell apart. It's like life got in the way of that, pretty much.
Although we can blame Wes for that also because he didn't turn up. I thought this match was all right, but then like you said with the Mox and Eddie Kingston match from Full Gear, I feel like I've grown up in the point that I don't find that much enjoyment out of these matches anymore. Like it was fine, but I always find that matches like these often hide weaknesses from someone in the match, so they can hide behind spots and weapons and stuff like that.
You want to know something that's crazy about hiding behind weapons and spots in a match? The person that I think they should be protecting in this match and should be hiding is Dustin, but I feel like he's still the best wrestler in that match.
Yeah, well, actually, I don't know. I quite like. I'm getting quite fond of what the Blade can do in the ring.
The Blade's okay. I like the Blade. The Butcher looked like a man though. He looked like a grown ass man at the entrance when he had the wrap around, and I was like, oh, that's a jailhouse strong man right there. I don't want to fight that.
Well, to be honest, he was like a Street Fighter villain or one of the villains from Streets of Rage, because the man still had his apron on the entire match.
Yeah, he was.
Never thought to get removed. He was put through plywood, whatever stage built thing that him and Dustin went through.
Yeah.
A giant box.
A giant box designed for them to jump on. Honestly, I just felt the match, like you said, I'm not really into these matches. I'm more into the actual hard hitting when it looks like the wrestlers are being physical without using weapons and stuff. Like occasionally a weapon's fine. Like for me, I guess I need it tastefully done. For Bayley and Sasha and Hell in the Cell, to me felt tastefully done, as Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre didn't, felt gratuitous for no reason and unnecessary. Or I don't know. I just feel like a story needs to ramp up to this, and this one didn't ramp up to me. And seeing Ali jump through a table or whatever, it just wasn't satisfying. And I felt like the wrong team won at the end. The Butcher and the Blade should win. There's no reason to put Dustin over in this day and age, or QT Marshall.
Well,
there ain't no money in that.
No, but nobody gets over the Nightmare Family now.
Yeah, succubus. I don't even know what that word means. I just feel like using it.
There was a few backstage spots, but I don't have them in my notes. And I believe Mox cut a promo. I didn't hear any of it because of the audio issue.
There it is.
I didn't even try to like go back and hear it. I know the Young Bucks had a spot with Marvez where he thought they were going to super kick him again. He was very tentative when he was interviewing them. They basically called out their next tag team opponents, which they appeared on Dark, but I'm not sure who they are. Do you?
Okay, it's Top Flight or something.
Yeah,
they saw an image of them somewhere, later in the night, and I went, okay, I think they're black. I believe they're black, and there's another black team going down, or an athlete in the AEW that's not going to win. But that's just the way it is over there. Manny, I know you glossed over this, but the mock segment with the audio problems, can't touch you, right? You had a whole thing in the mid card match where they came at you about this.
Oh yeah. So obviously there is a time difference between me and Marcus and Eric. Where it was nighttime when this was all happening. I went to bed like a normal human being.
People sleep.
So I wake up before my alarm this morning at 7:20 a.m. Where yes, I've been quite harsh recently on the show about AEW production.
Harsh, you're telling the truth. You're preaching.
But
I say amen after you say it.
But we live in an age where people are creating content in 4K, some even in 8K.
Or 480p.
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
who still does that?
Hey guys.
So I get tagged in a Facebook post from the mid-card mess where someone has suggested AEW production looking good tonight, Manny. Winking face emoji. Which is obviously a slide on me for calling them out for the last couple of weeks.
Yes.
So what, as I made reference to, don't poke. If you're gonna take a shot, make sure it's done to kill, because this very much felt like the Super Bowl between the Falcons and the Patriots when the Falcons were up at halftime and then lost. Because it wasn't. There was vast improvements during this. However, I still deem this unacceptable.
My ears!
Yeah, I deem that still unacceptable, and there was times during the night where you'd hear a little bit of it before they cut that audio straight away, so you just heard the backstage audio rather than hearing it coming from the live crowd. So I credit them for that. But just remember, guys, if you're gonna come for the king, make sure you kill the king.
Yes, you best not miss. That is the king of this channel. You come at him, one, you come at me, and two, don't be wrong. Don't be wrong. That's the number one thing. You don't be the Atlanta Falcons and have your 27-3 lead and have blown in the fourth quarter to Tom Brady, because that's what you did. You shot your shot way before it even mattered, before the Warrior began. And now, who looks like the idiot? Who looks like the dumbass? Because AEW still ain't fixed that shit. They ain't fixed it. And as soon as I saw it, oh, go ahead.
You prematurely ejaculated on your point, and you failed.
Yeah.
And
even though that sounds grosser than just prematurely ejaculating. You're like, you didn't. Oh, you missed your cue too. Oh,
I'm not the only person that's calling them out on this stuff. Go on Twitter. Just go in the search and type AEW Echo. There are thousands of AEW shills atting AEW and going, can you sort out your audio? Because yes, they are a lot of times are producing good content. However, what if the audio detracts from the actual content? It doesn't make good content. It distracts you from actually what that's going on screen.
Yes. Ooh, preach. Amen. Hallelujah.
And Raphael, I'm calling you out too.
Yeah. Yeah. Keep it going.
You stirring that fucking pot.
Yeah. Let's call out everybody.
I'm challenging you to watch Wednesday Night Wrestling and come on this A show of the Sharpshooters Network and talk about it with us. The A show.
The A show. By numbers.
We'll round up.
We're round up. We're fired up today. I'm pumped up. Manny, what's the next segment? What am I going to talk about next? I'm ready. Baby, I'm ready.
The worst part is this: we've gone from this high. Now we have to go low and talk about Sean Spears versus Scorpio Sky, which I'm gonna give him credit here because it was actually a really good match, but it became a concept of hiding all the what did they call it?
Weaknesses?
No, they kept putting hiding the thing that he would hide in.
The weapon.
The slug. They kept calling it a slug.
Yeah, the slug, I guess. Whatever. To me, this match it was just there. I wasn't really invested in any of it. It was nice that both people were featured on the show because they aren't featured on Dynamite as much. But other than that, I didn't really get blown. I wasn't blown away by it or like. And then they were trying to sell me that hey, they could enter the top 5 with this, and I'm going like Team Taz right there, or all the other things. And so I don't know. I just wasn't invested into this match. It happened for me, and I was like, it's solid.
When we eventually get around to NXT, when we talk about Leon Ruff, rough ride to where he is now. Hey, I don't think anyone has slipped harder than Scorpio Sky in AEW.
It was a quick slip, though. It was like, hey, he's at the peak. He's fighting for the title. Boom. You don't see that dude for like 8 months.
Yeah, and he's one of the most talented people on their roster.
Yeah.
And like it for me, I'm just like Scorpio Sky needs some love in this company because he is gold.
I'll tell you this. If his contract ever comes up, and I know people are going to be like, WWE, why? WWE featuring black wrestlers really heavily right now.
Yeah.
And imagine Scorpio Sky in the Hurt Business would be.
Who would you kick out? Who would you kick out?
At this point, it'd be Shelton. Because I feel like Bobby is the muscle. Cedric's athleticism. MVP's the mouth. Shelton is the natural, pure athlete. But, I think Scorpio Sky can outdress him.
Yeah.
And it's an upgrade. So it'll be Shelton.
So tonight we get I felt like it was a very good women's match from Ty Conti and Red Velvet. I feel like it was more Ty Conti because Red Velvet did look very green in this match.
You know what my problem with their women's matches is that I think I watch NXT first and I have a standard. Excuse me. It's a standard. Like, I feel like there's so much of a step above. Like, watching Candice and Toni Storm wrestle, or even Raquel beat up a grown-ass man in Boa. I just go, this is my women's division. And this is probably even comparing them to Raw and SmackDown as well. Yeah. Like, there's just a standard. And as good as this was, it's like I feel like I'm lowering my standards to accommodate and go, this was a really good match. It was solid. But to me, I've upgraded my women's match. Like when we talk about Ember Moon and her matches, or you kind of comparing them to other people, you go like
Ember Moon is above most people in the AEW women's division. The only people above her, I would probably say, is Serena Deeb. Character-wise, I would put Britt Baker. Britt Baker's not solid in the ring, but character-wise, she's solid.
Yeah.
And Shida.
No, I don't know where you consider Serena Deeb and Thunder Rosa at on being on their roster.
Well, Serena Deeb is on their roster. Thunder Rosa isn't on their roster.
Okay, I wasn't 100% sure if Serena Deeb was actually still on their roster, but and it's like there's a standard that I've come accustomed to when you watch SmackDown and watch something like Sasha and Bayley go at it, and you're like, wow, that was amazing. And then you go to Raw and you see maybe Asuka in a match with somebody, which may be decent, maybe not, who knows, 50-50 sometimes. And then you get to NXT and you go through something, and even on Impact, you watch women's wrestling. Then when you get here, I feel like I have to lower my standard and be like, this is a solid match. And I don't think I'm going to do that anymore, Betty. This is a good match. Nice, nothing special. That's it.
Well, I felt like there was a lot of that this evening, but the next match I thought was really good, but like it wasn't better, and I'm glad it didn't end like the last one where Fenix got hurt. It was Rey Fenix versus his brother Penta, and I felt these two put it on very heelish. From both of them.
From both sides, yeah.
And then, like, if you were listening to the commentary where it was like Tony Schiavone was constantly throwing shade at Eddie Kingston for everything being his fault, for the way these two are acting, just creating this divide between the tag team of them two. And I was just like, and then Eddie Kingston clapping back all the time. It's like, oh, everything's my fault. And then constantly going, Penta's my friend. He's my best friend.
This is my best friend. He's the better wrestler. He's my best friend. He doesn't need that piece of garbage dragging him down. And I'm like, Penta's like, my brother? Like, Oh, I enjoyed the match, but I didn't think it was as good as their first one that they had on AEW. When he got hurt. I know he got hurt in it, but I still thought that was a better match that had a better story behind. But if this means they're gonna maybe run with Penta as a solo act, I'm for it. Or Ray Fenix as a solo act, I'm for it. But I feel like Eddie Kingston stole the show. I feel like him on commentary and his promo before and talking after made me forget all about this match.
Yeah,
I just love Eddie Kingston that much.
And then we get the return of the Bastard Pac.
Bastard Pac, I'm back. And we have random pull apart.
Yeah, I think what they tried to explain on commentary was Eddie Kingston isn't cleared to be competing in AEW at the moment, so the referees are there to protect him from himself. Essentially what was going on there. And then we get randomly booked backstage by TK, which I hate the fact that they're referring to him as TK, because that makes him like, cool and everything. When it's Pac versus the Blade, who has no business to be fighting him. He wasn't even out there. It's like, I'd be at the back going, what the fuck did I do?
I feel like that was the major selling point. Them trying to bring me back next week. Hey, Blade and Pac, you got to watch that shit. Blade pulling sprinters out of his ass for being jumping through a crate earlier with Dustin. It's going like, why? Why do I get this? This dude's been sitting at home for weeks and now I got to go through this? Fuck that.
Oh, I did miss the MJF segment.
I know. I was going to bring it back at the end and be like, dang, man, he's slipping.
It's not that I slipped. It's just that I feel like this whole Jericho MJF thing jumped the shark. Like the moment the steak dinner debonair or whatever it was called, that was at its peak. Now that it's happened, it's going downhill, and it's going downhill very quickly.
Man, I feel like this is the only long-term story. I mean, you skipped a Kenny Omega promo, but I think you lumped him in all the other promos as well. But it was whatever. And so we have, MJF talking about, where's Sammy, and, he got the wrong ticket and all that, or the wrong email, didn't get the second email, and him giving trips to Vegas. And it's the only long-term story they're really going with is this breakup of the Inner Circle and MJF takeover, I guess.
Yeah.
But, I'm just so sick of Jericho and his band of married men doing shit. Like, do something involving wrestling. Whether it's a pep rally, a town hall, or a celebration of some kind, Le Champion celebration, whatever they're doing, get back to the ring. This Vegas thing, I'm sure it's going to be entertaining, and it's going to be something probably similar to what happened in like The Hangover. And I feel Sammy's going to get left out and end up in a bad hotel room or something. Or it's pretty much probably going to be The Hangover, and they're going to lose Sammy. And he's going to be on top of a roof.
Probably.
That's kind of what I'm thinking of this. And they're probably even going to get Mike Tyson the cameo.
Yeah.
Like, I expect The Hangover. That's what I expect. Before
we move on to NXT, the Kenny Omega promo was really good when he caught him in the parking lot. Where he acknowledged that he checked the records because his match with Mox was unsanctioned. That doesn't count, so he never beat him.
I went through a lot of hell for nothing.
And then before we move over to NXT, let's cover some of the chat. Grunge Smurf said he's glad he's home alone with all the jizz talk. We mentioned that like twice.
And one, put your earphones on. If you're listening to this show and we're going to talk about jizz, we can talk about anything. Jizz or whatever. A lot of jizz happens. Put your earphones on.
And then Don said AEW also need to fix their visuals as they will go to the commentary as they don't know what to say. 3 minutes staring awkwardly. AEW as a whole is a whole lot of nothing. Everyone either has a manager or a stable and losing as soon as they fight management.
Not only a manager stable, a manager from the 80s or 90s.
Yeah. Grunchma says, who do I hate more, Ember Moon or Nia? Probably Nia. Nia.
You know you hate Nia. Nia's getting Nia. Remember I said we had a streak of Nia without incident. Nia had an incident. And I don't even think it's her fault. It's Mandy's fault for not grabbing the rope. Nia's innocent.
I don't even know what happened.
So Mandy Rose, I don't know if you recall, like Nia threw out the ring and then they cut. The next time you cut to Mandy, she's like holding her shoulder. Apparently, she dislocated her shoulder or popped something out when she fell out the ring because she didn't grab the rope. Nia doesn't do anything. It's like you see minimal impact from Nia, barely tapping her, and Mandy just dives out the ring and just falls arm first.
Well, that's her fault.
Yeah, but Nia was there. Nia was there, and so Nia gets the blame. So I'm gonna go with we are now at 2 days of Nia Jax without incident. Also in news story, Manny, I'm gonna stick to AEW. Did you see the announcement from AEW Games? And what did you think of any of that?
I liked what they're bringing because I especially what Aubrey Edwards announced, which was the GM mode for AEW, which is something that's been missing from WWE Games from like since SmackDown versus Raw.
Very long time. That out.
Yeah, that's a really fun thing, and like when Xavier Woods and Tyler Breeze were doing their show on Up Down Down where they were doing the GM mode battle. It's actually really entertaining. That's something that's something cool to play. The game itself, it could be good. Thing is, for me, I was never a fan of the N64 No Mercy, and I think the other one was called WrestleMania 2000 or something along those lines.
There was WCW versus NWO, which was the first one. When I first played that, we rented it, and it was so good. I had to go back, re-rent it, get it back. Then to the point where I made it a Christmas gift that I had to get because I was like, this is the greatest wrestling game ever. Then they topped that with WCW NWO Revenge, which I thought this is even greater because now they have creative wrestler, and you had THQ Man whose finishing move was to get on top of you and just punch the shit out of you, which is my favorite finishing move of all time. And then they go into WrestleMania 2000, and then No Mercy comes out, which I didn't play because I had already moved off of the N64 to whatever the new console was. But to me, they were fun, and then they stopped after No Mercy to get to Bring the Pain is when I kind of came back into wrestling games. But those games were fun, but you can't make what you saw in this little trailer for me anything. It was just a clip of some random shit.
That was the thing is you can't really make an assumption on that because it looked all right, but that's more of a video sequence, not a gameplay sequence. So like you wouldn't be playing like that. So it looked cool. The character models are a bit like arcadey, which
very blocky, very WWE Battleground-y.
Yeah, and I said before when Battleground came up and everyone was shitting on it, give it some time because you don't know what it's going to be like. It's like that game wasn't aimed at adults, the Battleground, but it turned out to be fun. I played it. Like I'm over it now because like there's no intention to play with it unless you're playing with other people. But it was a fun game while it lasted. I had more fun playing that than I did WWE 2K20.
Yeah, well, everybody. I haven't played games in a while, but I heard 2K20 is the worst wrestling game ever, and I played Royal Rumble for the Dreamcast, which literally did not function.
Yeah, that was a bad game. That was a really bad game.
Yeah, but the trailer to me just felt like it was like whatever. Just don't. I feel like they shouldn't announce anything unless you had something to really show, and they didn't have it. The only thing I enjoyed was them dressing up as Steve Jobs. That's pretty much what I got out of this.
The thing for me for that is, I think the first one I thought like they would try and take themselves seriously rather than spoof. Or parody like an Apple announcement, and their logo looks like a Pornhub logo.
Yes, it did. It's hilarious to me. So good luck with their game. The next story I wanted to talk about was I don't know if you heard that FTR might be out of AEW already.
Really?
They're done. So
they had a long-term contract.
I don't know. Maybe they still do, but it seems like they're out. Cash Wheeler, posted on Twitter. This has been an incredible ride. I appreciate all the people of AEW. Top guys officially out. And then, I'm like, wait, what? And then people are saying that they are done with AEW and that they're going to go either work in Japan, Impact, or somewhere else at this point.
For me, if I was them, I probably wouldn't go Impact. I would probably go Japan, where their style suits better. I think for people like them, they need to be watched and they need to be admired. And I don't think they'd get that from an Impact audience. Whereas they go to Japan, they're going to wrestle the best and wrestle the style that is their style, which is best suited for Japanese wrestling. And more power to them.
Yeah. I really like that they are trying to wrestle in multiple promotions. I would die laughing if they randomly ended up on NXT and I go, what the fuck? What was that run? But that explains why they lost the titles to the Bucks, I guess. At the current time, they wanted to get their dream match out. They lost it. Things are over. I guess it might be over.
Well, speaking of, so they did that little package of the highlight package of their match, and then people talk, and then the comments from wrestling publications. I don't think this match was all that, to be honest.
It wasn't as good as the Bucks and Paige and Omega.
Yeah,
it was a good match. And if you look at all the reviews of people with the match, it's all Dave Meltzer. There was no one else under the names. Those are all Meltzer quotes. And I'm going that don't count. That doesn't count. When you haven't moved the Meltzer driver, and he's clearly going to kiss your ass. That doesn't count. You got to give me the right back to say this was a great match.
I don't know why the right back is your measuring stick.
Just a random dude. I don't know. The right back looks at a match like no one looks at a match. But no, it was an okay match to me. It wasn't.
The right back is now the measuring stick.
Yes. The measuring stick. Ryan Reeves, the right back. Formerly known as the right back.
Do you have any other wrestling news stories that you would like to bring up before we move over to NXT?
The Rascals have apparently signed with WWE, which seems like, I guess, I'm not the biggest fan of the Rascals.
I personally have no idea who they are.
Okay. They were a stoner group in Impact. If they team up with Matt Riddle, it makes all the sense in the world. But it's all they did was smoke weed in their treehouse and then they wrestled. Extremely athletic, but whatever.
Oh, we've got breaking stories. This is an old one, but I think one of my favorites from Impact Wrestling, Kylie Ray has retired from wrestling. Her mental health struggles getting the better of her, and she's taking a break from. She said she's retiring, but I feel like she'll probably get the itch to come back. But
everybody comes back. Leon Ruff retired this year, and then next thing you know, he's in New Japan. Rich Swann retired last year. Next thing you know, he's the Impact World Champion this year.
I feel like she'll be back, but all credit to her for taking control of her mental health and saying enough's enough. Let me take a break, and then maybe when she figures shit out, she might come back.
Yeah.
Very talented female wrestler.
Yeah, that AEW let get away because of undisclosed reasons.
Yeah. So moving on to NXT.
NXT.
Johnny Gargano was out with his wheel, which he later announced that later on in the night was rigged.
Yes, he rigged. It was rigged. That was everything. His whole argument about the wheel and everything that happened tonight is his own doing, and everybody going, "It's your own doing, man. You did it to yourself."
And then it stopped on Leon Ruff. Let's talk about this wheel first, because Leon Ruff's name doesn't look like it was initially on there. It's like Leon Ruff stuck his name on that wheel.
It's like Gargano was like, it been a wheel, and then he was like, I don't want to fight any of these guys. let me put this duct tape Leon Ruff name on it. Rig the wheel.
And then Leon Ruff comes out, which entrance music I thought was the old Bronson Reed music.
Sounded like that. Didn't that be the story that Bronson Reed lost his name at one point? Or is he just? I thought he was just going by Bronson at some point, but I guess he brought the Reed back. I feel like that was a week.
I don't think you lose your name in NXT. You lose your name when you get to Raw or SmackDown. Yeah, and then
he won.
Yeah, Leon Ruff won.
The future is now. He won. And I didn't see it coming. And Manny, in the meeting, I explained to you that I was watching this with Eric's mother-in-law, his sister-in-law, his wife, and we were just over there chilling, and we put this on. We weren't planning to watch NXT, but we were like, just put it on just real quick before, and it was on, and, the shock of like, who is this? And we had to explain that this is our favorite wrestler in the world. He's a jobber. He's going to get his ass whooped. And the fact that he won this match was just the greatest thing, and nothing's better than Priest putting the belt on him, only for it to fall down to his ankles.
And I love that they recreated that photo with Triple H in the point picture.
Yeah. And the thing is, I can't tell if that was intentional or not. I cannot tell. Like, if that was the intent, to have it fall down to his ankles no matter what. That's how perfect that was. If you tell me that happened legitimately, I'll say I believe it, and I keep laughing. If you tell me it was at work, I'll believe it, and I'll still be laughing. That's how good that spot was.
And then we get this backstage segment where they're trying to interview Leon Ruff, and Priest tells him, take these keys, find a black Charger, and get out of here. Johnny Gargano is going to come through here pissed. You just need to get the hell out of here.
He's going to beat your ass. And when that happened, because the entire time he won, I was in shock. We're like, what? He won? I don't believe it. And I was like, they're going to reverse this unless he leaves the building. He needs to get out of here. And then Priest goes, take my car, man. Just take that shit and ride. Just drive. Get the hell out of here. Like Leon Ruff did not have his own car. I don't know. That's how bad this situation was. And it was hilarious. And Regal, and just the whole kerfuffle in the back of Gargano needing to calm down and talk to Regal, only to get upset again because he had no argument on why this happened. It was just great. That was pure entertainment. And that segment alone, and people may say I'm WWE biased or NXT biased. I don't care. That was better than anything I saw on AEW. Just that whole segment.
Well, I loved it. So as we've already mentioned, how furious I was when I woke up this morning, of having been called out and clapping back with facts. I'm not being funny. I did speed watch AEW for backstage segments. The pettiness was real, just to find some evidence to prove this person wrong, and I did. But then I started scrolling down through the rest of the group, and I see Leon Ruff. I thought this was a Photoshop. I first thought Photoshop.
Kayfabe news. Kayfabe news.
And then I check YouTube and my recent subscription to see. First, I check our numbers to see if they've grown over the night.
Not bad this time around. I was looking at the numbers myself. I was like, hey, it's not bad. I don't know why. I don't know why they fluctuate like this.
Yeah, and then I see the video that Leon Ruff becomes new NXT NXT North American champion. I'm like, oh shit. Whatever happens today, I'm going to be in a good mood.
It changed everything. Best year ever. The year started off with Otis having the best year ever. He got Mandy, the briefcase. He lost Tucker Knight. Everything was good. Then all that fell on him with Mandy Rose being traded to Raw. He loses the briefcase. This is all like in the span of a week. Leon Ruff is having the best 2020 of any person alive. Alive. Not only was he unsigned to start the year in a pandemic era, he got destroyed by Aleister Black in a main event match, only for Vince McMahon to see it and go, I need that on Raw, to get the same exact squash on Raw, to show up randomly on NXT to do jobs and get his ass whooped some more and get squashed there and do a good job there.
Hold on, Mark, because he held his own against Sheamus as well.
Sheamus whooped that ass too. Everybody got some. To him officially being signed and now being a champion, and the story of him, like, you know, him and his girlfriend, who's the referee, and that he took a gamble and came down with her. It all paid off, and this has to be the best year. No matter what happens else this year for Leon Ruff or any wrestler, you can't top becoming a random North American champion.
Well, do you know what this is? It's an important lesson about for a lot of people out there. Just what you just said there, Marcus, is sometimes you just got to take a gamble on yourself. If you're in a dead end job, you're feeling shitty, throw yourself out there. Take a gamble. I'm not saying quit your job, but throw your resume out there.
No, Manny, you did just say quit your job right away. You were like, I don't need this shit anymore. I can be happy. I quit.
But like, if anything comes from this pandemic, everything about your own mental health is important, and I want to stress that more than enough. It's just like, if you're not enjoying what you're doing, look for a way out. Take a gamble on yourself. Do something that you enjoy.
Yes, don't look for your way out, but look for a way out. Like, get out of that situation. I 100% agree with you, and Leon Ruff is that inspiration to the world that dreams do come true. Maybe you get a belt that don't fit you.
So who represents North America better now? Bobby Lashley or Leon Ruff?
Hold on. Bobby Lashley only represents the United States. Leon Ruff represents Canada as well, because it's the North America. That's all North America right there. So beautiful. It's a beautiful day. But in all seriousness, what I want this story to go, Johnny Gargano trying to get his belt back. Priest wants to fight. Like, the contenders, there's a line for everybody that's like, I can be North American champion and want some. But everybody continues to cost everybody the title out of their own greed because they want to face Leon Ruff. And that's what I want. I want this to be a lengthy run or a surprising run in which he actually does good work.
I don't think Triple H is going to let him bottle job this tiny run. To be honest, I think Triple H sees a lot in Leon Ruff. Like, the start, all he's been in is like quick little segments here and there on NXT recently, but like each time he's shined. Like, and this is not because like, oh, we had this Ruff Bunch thing planned on the Sharpshooters Wrestling podcast a few months ago. No, he's actually grown on all of us to be like, yeah, this guy's legit.
He's legit. He sells better. He's one of the best sellers in the game. Like, and I like, he takes a bump. Like, it's like I don't know. I can only person I can compare it to is like, it seems like he dies each time. Maybe a Sasha bump in which she falls and it looks like she kills herself. But when Leon Ruff falls, it looks like he killed himself. But I feel like he's safe. Like, he's in full control of everything he's doing. And, you know, I'm actually legit happy for him. And this whole title, like, I felt like it's somebody that worked hard and you never thought be in this situation that actually got here. And, you know, I look forward to seeing what they do with this. I'm sure it's not going to be too much, but this is a true underdog story that's extremely like to me, it fits in the mold of like Daniel Bryan's run, in which he did good work on, I'm talking about main roster. When he originally came out, he did good work every single week, and you know, people show their appreciation for it. Yeah,
and then we went from that to I felt like a very entertaining match between Santos Escobar and Jake Atlas.
Yes,
like this was way better than the whatever match they had at Halloween Havoc.
This seemed like the real match.
This seemed like the real match. You got hard hitting Impact moves and very good back and forth. Jake Atlas had a good showing, and then Santos Escobar retains his NXT Cruiserweight Championship.
Yep. Absolutely incredible. I thought we were about to get a night of title changes, to be honest. That's how good this match was.
Yeah.
I was like, Jake may actually take this match. Like, I didn't, like, it's going into it, I didn't think he had a chance, but the way it was going throughout the match, it made me stop and, you know, going like, who they're going to book the win, to me going like, oh man, like false finishes and stuff, going like, that was close. And I didn't see that. Oh, wow. You know, and you know, with my infinite wrestling knowledge or whatever that is, I lost all that just to be like, Jay Atlas might win this match and take over. And this could be an incredible title change after title change back to back, which I haven't seen before. But, you know, he lost. But it was an amazing match. Good match.
So we were supposed to be getting Raquel Gonzalez versus Jai Lee.
I was like, your girl got...
So Boa come out, said Jai Lee's not here. This match can't happen. And then Raquel Gonzalez decided to beat his ass to send a message.
Mm-hmm.
Keep my motherfucking name out your motherfucking mouths.
Yes. Takeaways from this. One, Raquel Gonzalez now has the Ridge Holland jacket. When she was coming out, I was like, somebody had to wear it. Two, Dakota Kai is the worst friend that she doesn't come out and support Raquel in her matches, but Raquel always supports Dakota in her matches. Two, the entire time this match was happening, I was with Eric and I was like, your girl about to get her ass whooped. She's about to get that spicy ass beat. She's about to get killed by Big Mama Cool. And then when Boa come out, I was like, oh, kick his ass, Raquel. And then when she did, I was like, yes. And then more racism happened as a dragon decides to fly across the screen. And an old Chinese man, I was like, I guess he's responsible for this. Like, he's the boss. Because we couldn't think of a...
He mocked him. He's now a dead man.
Yeah. We didn't know what was going on, but I was so invested. Because I'm like, where are we going with this? And who is the be-all, end-all of this group? Because this old Chinese man ain't fight nobody. There ain't no other Chinese wrestler other than Boa and Xia Li. There has to be. This is the end. It's going to be Boa and Xia Li as they get superpowers from the dude's magical stamp or his touch or whatever that was. Fully invested for no reason.
If he got powers because of that would be incredible.
Yes, I want powers. I want him to go Super Saiyan or, Last Dragon. He gets to glow, or all of a sudden they're stronger for no apparent reason that you can't beat them because now they have the mark. It would be the equivalent of Ty Dillinger getting the black glove. That's what I want from this, and I hope they go this route. And I'm excited for Xia Li and Boa for a storyline that doesn't make any sense at all with these envelopes.
So moving on, we've got Austin Gray in the back who's being interviewed, and then is attacked from the back by instantly. He didn't even get the chance to speak by Timothy Thatcher, and then he gets thrown into an incredible drawing. To be honest, whoever drew that was very impressive.
I believe there are Sam Shaw or Dexter Loomis drawings. I believe he does paint on the side or whatever, or draw.
These are really good, and then it was booked later in the night that Dexter Loomis will face off against Timothy Thatcher. But we move into Toni Storm versus Candice LeRae. It was an all right. For me, it was an all right match. I
want to pause before we go further. Do you think they should start selling these paintings, these drawings on WWE Shop? I would sell them. I feel like you can get good money from wrestling fans just wanting a piece of the memorabilia. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I would sell them. I wouldn't mass sell them. I would keep them as like originals and then auction it.
Auction
it. Where it goes towards what's their charity this month? Susan B. Komen?
Something like that, or veterans, heroes for hire or whatever whatever Lacey Evans talking about. Shows how much I pay attention. But it would be a nice little touch to sell, and people will have some nice memorabilia. Moving on to Toni Storm. And,
this actually, as Beth Phoenix did say, this could be this match technically could be a takeover match. Toni Storm versus Candice LeRae. It was a very good match. I felt like they were holding back, which is the right thing to do when it's just a TV match. Candice LeRae picks up the win with having her feet on the rope, and then it leads to run-ins by Shotzi Blackheart and the lady in the Scream Mask, only for the lady in the Scream Mask to be revealed to be Indy Hartwell.
Yeah, and so this little match that they had wasn't the greatest match between Candice and Toni, but you always thought in the back of your mind they're holding back and they can give us more. That's what's going on in this. And that's what I can't get from AEW's women. And that's when I go like, it's really a step down watching and seeing that the class of the WWE or NXT's women's division over all of wrestling right now, it's just that far above everybody when you just go like, damn.
Well, I think it's because when it comes to a WWE product, they're not going to give you everything. They're going to make you pay for everything. Whereas like AEW are trying to attract people. So they're in this position where they have to go balls to the wall to attract people to watch their product. And it's unfortunate for them. They're in a bad situation where WWE don't necessarily have to try to get people to watch.
NXT slogan is the future is now, but also their slogan should be, we don't give a fuck about if you watch this show or not at this point.
Yeah, because like,
we're going to give you the best show possible.
Yeah, thing is that what Raw, SmackDown, and NXT should be is that storytelling element to get you to watch what's on the network. And when it comes to pay-per-view time, and I think that's what they do. Like, yeah, we may go, yeah, that was shit, but like they told the story to get you to the proper match. Whereas like AEW, they're in a position where they have to sell all the time. Yeah, they're not in a position where they can hold back, and that's going to be their downfall. Where they may put on 5-star matches more often than not on Dynamite, but that makes it even harder when it comes to the pay-per-view, because then they've got to jump over the even bigger hurdle.
Yeah, it's my main thing where I feel like I think I've said this before, but where AEW can go into trouble is that they try to give you everything every single week. And when you give someone everything every single week, you become spoiled. You're going to see it and be like, that's fine. Like watching probably Penta and Fenix this week, I felt spoiled, I guess. Maybe because I was like, it could be better because I saw the previous weeks. Or I saw this other match and stuff. So by holding back the whole adage of more is less. I mean, less is more. Because you can build up the stuff. It's like if you told me, here's your food, and you give it to me all at once, and it's like, this is the greatest meal I ever had. The next time I go there, I'm going to eat a meal and be like, wasn't as good as last week. Or it's going to be, about on par as that way. It's just a little bit better, It's the same meal over and over. You got to change it up. But with that being said, Ghostface being Indy Hartwell this week. Do you believe that was Indy Hartwell the previous weeks? Because I can give you 2 reasons why I don't believe they used the same person in the Ghostface makeup.
Well, the first time around, when you saw her on TV, she was a lot smaller than the last 2 occasions the Scream person was on TV.
Yeah.
And then the second and then today you noticed this person had breasts.
Yes. I was going to say them titties.
Yeah.
So that's what I was going to say. Like, it was blatantly obvious that this is a chick. And my favorite thing is that they have to reveal this woman this time because she's beating the shit out of Shotzi Blackheart right now. You can't keep it ambiguous that was a man. That was a man beating the shit out of Shotzi Blackheart. Otherwise, you break everything. So it had to be the real deal this week. I'm not surprised. But just like Scream, I think there's 2. And I think that the other one I think there's going to be another one, and the other one is Austin Theory.
Yeah, and this is where I think Leon Ruff gets Johnny Gargano gets the title back, because there's going to be a rematch, isn't there? And I don't think he would need help, but he's going to get help, Johnny Gargano, and it'll probably turn out to be Austin Theory.
Well, he's going to need somebody to keep Priest away, because it seems like Priest is going to adapt Leon Ruff as a protector. But, Priest seemed like the homie, though. I don't know why. He just seemed like the homie. I'm like, I got you, man. Let's go.
I'm just pointing out now, if we do get that Priest and Leon Ruff hookup, we have the Ruff Bunch. We have the Rough Riders.
Holy shit.
And Priest will not be the featurehead of this. It will be Leon Ruff, and we will be referring him to the Rough Riders, not this Priest coalition. No.
Manny, I want you to stop, drop, shut it down, and open up shop. I want this. I want this.
No.
That's a Rough Riders role. By the way, shout out to MJF for using Drake, and then later on his Instagram or something, he did the profile picture from one of Jake's albums. I can't remember the title.
So after this Tony Storm and Candice LeRae match, we got Dexter Lumis versus Timothy Thatcher. Another decent match, but it was interrupted by Cameron Grimes, inevitably costing Lumis the match, and then puts a burlap sack on his head and then takes him down. I was like, I ain't afraid of you.
This is only leading to one thing, Manny. As soon as I saw the burlap sack, and I saw Dexter Lumis, and I saw Cameron Grimes, and I was like, if there was any two people that could pull off this match in full comedic form, a blindfold match is coming up.
I really don't want that, but then
we're getting a blindfold match
in the perfect backstage segment where Cameron Grimes said, "I was scared of you, Dexter Lumis, but I remembered I'm Cameron Grimes, and I've got a place to be." To the moon.
Yes. Oh man, I'm really enjoying everybody on NXT for no reason. Like all the characters, I feel like everybody is in sync with their characters right now.
Yeah,
minus Ember Moon, but everybody on this show knew exactly who they were.
And then we get the Britain Brawlers versus Breezango. I feel like
Solid.
this whole match was brought up by the fact that Pat McAfee was just around on commentary.
Yeah,
for me.
Yeah, the only thing that mattered was McAfee in general. And everything else was just there.
I love the bit where he was when Vic Joseph threw at him about this may be the net. They may not get another title shot, just like you and your Colts. And he was like, yeah, we lost the championship game to Drew Brees and this dumb baby. I was like, so unnecessary.
It's so good though. It's so much fun. Pat McAfee is gold. I love him. Everything about him. Like, I love it. The one thing I was thinking about when I was watching this match, and I had the FTR thing in my head, I was like, did they leave? I really would like FTR to join up with Pat McAfee. That would have been so perfect. If in a different timeline, if WWE and FTR never had their falling out, Pat McAfee, FTR versus the Undisputed Era is so much a better team than the Britain Brawl. I feel like I'm getting a low rent version of that right now.
It is a better team, but I've grown enamored with FTR and Tully. Tully is the baddest dude still in professional wrestling.
He is. He is that old school heel who the heels look up to and ask for advice, no matter what. He's the godfather of heels, and he's an amazing manager.
For me, he is absolutely Bobby the Brain Heenan for this era.
No, where I feel like Bobby the Brain Heenan was a villainous manager, I feel like the brain part never worked.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like he was more of a comedy act. I feel like Tully has the brain to make shit work. Like, I feel like he is ultimate evil. Like, he is pure evil.
Which is why I prefer Tully to On.
Yeah.
And I hate On. And I have no other reason other than he's aligned himself with Cody because I hate On because of it.
Yeah. That's the only thing. Like, join your partner and be pure evil. But to me, I feel like there's a story they're not telling there. Like, I know they briefly did it with the Sean Spears storyline, but that was so brief. But the fact that you have two former four horsemen, one is a babyface and Arn, who, you know, seems like a good guy to hang out with, get a beer with, or whatever. And then you have this evil son of a bitch who's still evil from all these years. Like, has not changed. He did not become a better person over here. In fact, he became a worse person. He's even more bitter. His daughters are racist. That's how evil he is.
So, see, this is what I want the change to happen. Because we've seen signs of Cody turning for weeks where Arn just gets furious at him for doing the wrong things in the ring. I want Cody to turn his back on the Nightmare Family and his wife and join up with Tully.
Yes. I want every heel to join with Tully, to be honest. Well, it's like, Tully, I need to figure this out. Hey man, come in here.
This is why Tully's the host of HeelCon.
Yes. Like, he's the voice of reason. Like, he's the old dude in the room that everybody's talking like, you need to shut up, and Tully goes, hey, everybody turn around, so they sit around, gather around.
And then on the walls of Tully's background I want the baddest dudes, like in picture frames, like Mr. Fuji.
I like Mr. Fuji because Mr. Fuji was evil, but he wasn't bad.
Marcus,
I thought you were really going worse.
Marcus, have you had salt thrown in your eyes?
No, not recently. But it seemed like that would hurt like hell.
Mr. Fuji was a bad dude.
I was hoping you would get like Iron Sheik back there, or
Dude, I didn't get to that.
Boy, I was gonna say Curious George, but or Boy George, Gorgeous George, all these old ass heels from back in the day. When you just go like those were bad guys. Bad News Brown.
I want the four horsemen with a arm's face crossed out.
I want 400 picture with arm face crossed out, but breaking Dusty Rose's arm. Like, and them just going like, yeah, we did that shit. Fucking Hollywood Hulk Hogan's picture. Not Hulk Hogan, but Hollywood Hogan only. Like, just the evilest dudes ever. Like, damn. Then Hogan, also another picture of Hogan, because Hogan, him and his sex tape bro talking about his daughter not hanging around black people. Like, damn,
I feel like that playing on a TV on repeat. Like nothing else goes on that screen other than that.
That's some heel ass shit right there. Yeah, that's a repeat. And you can just see other heels walking in there. Let's say the Miz walk in there going like, I don't know if I'm going down this line. This is fucking dark. This is Defense Against the Dark Arts dark. This is fucking, this is Voldemort's in here. That's how fucking crazy this is.
Oh, I feel like we're gonna have to clip every time now we talk about Hillcon and put it in one giant video.
Yeah, it gets bigger and bigger. It's just gonna be bigger. Like literally, on Halloween they were playing Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Here I am dressed as the Macho Man Randy Savage, watching this. But it's the last scene of when Voldemort is back and he's like killing everybody. He's talking all this shit. I feel like that's what Hillcon is kind of like. It's just one dude talking about, where were you at? Where were you at? This fool brought me back. I'm the fucking man. I'm killing this kid in front of everybody. I'm killing this kid. Like, that's how fucking evil that shit was. I was like, damn, they about to have a killing of a kid. There's like 20 people watching this.
I'm telling you now, Tully wouldn't put it past it. Tully would encourage that shit.
Yeah. Expelliarmus his ass, Voldemort. Expelliarmus all the ass. Abracadabra. Abracadabra.
Oh, this show has been something else today.
Yeah, it's been a fun show. It's been a fun show. And I think it's all because of Leon Ruff. He set the world right.
Do you know
Meanwhile, coronavirus is at an all-time high in America.
To be honest, it's an all-time high in the UK as well.
Yeah, it's bad, man. The sequel is bigger, bad, and stronger.
However, it's only been a few days into the Biden era and this happened.
Yeah, already I see change.
This man is representing North America.
I really wish, for some reason, Trump started on TV and saw this and was like, what the fuck? What just happened? Let me tweet on this.
You know he made a call to Vince. It's like, your son-in-law is doing some shit right now.
I literally see the crackhead win a North American title. Well, at least, and then he goes, well, it's not the United States title, at least. Another black guy?
Well, Marcus, I just want to point one thing out. The evolution trail
yes,
of Leon Ruff, Kofi Kingston, and R-Truth.
Oh, okay.
What do they all having? No, I've removed Swerve Scott because he doesn't fit my point. What do they all have in common?
Dookie braids?
They have gold, baby.
You got gold, baby.
They all rocking the straps.
And I'm sure they're all putting on Vaseline and just believe it.
Well, Kofi was taking notes.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to say, for the record, that the New Day podcast is the best wrestling podcast of all of them. It's ridiculous.
I haven't listened to this week's one, but I'm probably going to do it when we get calling into the show. I was going to tell you the embarrassing story that happened to me from the events that took place yesterday, which had a knock-on effect to me what happened today. But cliffhanger, I'm going to save it for Saturday because we need to get views on this show.
Hook them in. Hook them in.
We need to get views on Saturday, and it's going to be a fucking hilarious story which involves embarrassment of Manny to 100 proportions.
Shoot, I may have to have a drink for that one, Manny. Just be like, oh, this is going bad for him. But hilarious.
Well, you see, Marcus, when you win something, you celebrate like a true champion. And I'm leaving it at that. Because everyone else needs to tune in this Saturday.
Live.
And if you don't, I will be very disappointed in you. That goes for
Emold.
Right. That goes for Wes. That goes for the Dizman. That goes for Chris. That goes for
Grunsmurf.
El
Luchador. God rest his soul in our title.
Do we need to start putting El Luchador's photo on milk cartons of missing?
or we can recast him. We can just get somebody else on Lucha Mask. Put it on portrait view. And we just talk to us.
So yesterday was Memorial Day for you. Remembrance Day. Veterans Day. Remembrance Day for me. I'd like to say gone but not forgotten. El Luchador.
Oh, my brother, testify.
I will remember you.
So far off the rails.
It feels like we've both been drinking, but we haven't.
No. I literally just woke up, and this is the only thing I had in my stomach. Maybe this Aquafina has a little alcohol. It's alcoholfina in there or something. But it's been a fun morning at start to the day.
It's a great day to be represented by.
All right,
the lucha who died at the docks. Can we just point out we never know how to end the show, by the way. So jokes like this always pop up and then the show ends up going longer than it needs to be.
Yeah, it's done. You can't top a lucha at the day. That's so stupid.
I've been Lord Manny Hayes. It's been Marcus the Grand Finale. This is the Untitled Manny and Marcus show. Peace. The lucha that died at the docks.